My work sometimes takes me into she towns. These are the sort of places where the abundance and wealth grows so thick that the residents let the bloated excess run down the street drains and put big sacks and piles of it out for the trash. These sorts of places confuse me as I rumble through in my work truck. People in these places have these giant elaborate houses with every sort of luxury imaginable. Pools, tennis courts, cobblestone driveways, guest wings, manicured lawns. The weird part is that no one's ever home in these places. It's just the lawn crews and domestic workers wandering the grounds, never the folks who call these personal Taj Mahals home. Judging from all the luxury cars parked in the commuter lots, I gather most of these folks are at work most of the time. Their kids, if they have them, are at private schools, lessons, and various skill camps of one sort or another. It's odd. So much abundance and luxury, and no one's home to savor any of it. They're all so busy being away trying to earn more of it. That, or afford what they've got. I can't help but see it as so many fancy dogs chasing so many fancy tails. Around and around they go. The question is, who's wagging who? And what for? If they have them, they make sure their kids are on the fast track, overindulged in every obtainable privilege and advantage, so their kids can do as well or better than them. Certainly, every mindful parent tries to do this. But from where I sit, given all the overhead and bloat of those overinflated expectations, wouldn't a kid feel crushed from the get-go? If all goes according to plan, I guess they hope Junior will do as well as their old man or lady, and work the 80-hour-plus weeks to make it happen, so they can reward their work ethic with rich luxury they have no time to enjoy. Given this scenario, is it any wonder that Junior is then so susceptible to depression and substance abuse issues? A vicious cycle. Look, I don't judge. Still, seeing all those beautiful unpeopled homes and all those prominent, well-heeled communities, I can't help but wonder, what's it all for? What's the point? Prisons of ego and ambition wrought from golden bars? Let's remember that King Midas starved because he couldn't eat gold. We're no different. So, who are they doing all this for? Themselves? Their kids? The Joneses with whom they were never able to catch up? Or the lofting expectations of the ghosts of their prominent forebearers? Maybe it's just out of a force of habit. I don't know. Don't they see that it's madness? It is all vanity, elderly King Solomon wrote in his book of Ecclesiastes. Or is the relentless beat of that drummer so hypnotic they can't break out of that rhythmic trance of aspirational consumption? I don't know. Clearly I don't belong to that club, and I'm fine with that. Really. Hey, don't get me wrong. I like my luxuries too. I'm not knocking anyone for their indulgences. I may be a man of simple tastes, but I like to enjoy good things just as much as the next guy, and feel completely and arrogantly entitled to do so. Give me my broken-in duct-tape Naugahyde easy chair, my window AC unit, and a cold carbonated oat soda, and I'm a happy clam. I'm the king of my realm, lord of my castle, second to none. However, flip the perspective a bit. Me and my Eisenhower tract housing in a suburban wherever, late model minivan and a primered project car in the driveway, and compare my life to that of most of the rest of the inhabitants of this big world. Folks eking out an existence with hand tools and hot-to-pleated dusty soils. And I swiftly look a lot like the luxury commuters from that Tony part of town I really don't understand. It all depends on your point of view. Perhaps the real lesson in all of this is to be mindful to appreciate the abundance that you have and to recognize it for the wealth that it is. Likely, less is more, as Buckminster Fuller once said. So maybe we could try sharing the excess of what we have. Why are we so stingy? With all that we have, I've got a garage stuffed with abundance I'll never really use. And probably so do you. I live like a god in this age of modern abundance, not because I deserve it, but because I lucked out to be born in a place where more of the fruits of my labors come back to me rather than not, unlike those poor folks struggling in most of the world's other places. Let's look at all that we have, celebrate it, enjoy it mindfully, rather than fixate on what we're not. Maybe we could save that human yearning discontent that drives some to build a pool they'll never use, or me to buy another project car I'll never restore, to more productive ends. Like working to build a world that's more equitable for others, a place where more of people's efforts come back to them for their benefit and the betterment of their communities. Really, when you look at it, we all live in the same neighborhood, the community of humanity. To be a true neighbor is to share and to look after your neighbor's well-being. Let's start there, and we'll all be better for it. But that's just this working stiff's point of view.